currently now walking through some petroglyphs. It's really interesting here because we've got all of the rock like we had in Moab, but so much more green and trees, which is pleasant. This is the historic Fruita School. So this area of Utah is really interesting because it was both inhabited by Fremont Indians and Mormon settlers who grew fruit here. Check out this old school. So I've turned down the scenic drive, which goes into the heart of the park, and the first thing I've come upon is a blacksmith shop, which is part of the historic Fruita district. From what I can tell, they still grow and sell fruit down here. Such a cool contrast between the orchards and the big red stone behind. This is another historic house in Fruita called the Gifford House. Again, a part of the Mormon settlement in the 1830s. Headed to the Goosenecks Overlook, which is supposed to give a view down into the canyon. All right, so that was my short visit to Capitol Reef. So I have turned onto Scenic Route 12. It is about 20 more minutes to get from Capitol Reef to Bryce Canyon on this road, but this road goes through Grand Escalante, which I went there in the winter a few years ago and loved. So this just seems like a more scenic route. I was a little bit nervous to take it because of flash flooding, but when I pulled it up on Google Maps, there were no flash flooding warnings on anywhere on the road, so I feel safe. I'm not sure about being able to do Bryce Canyon this afternoon. I hope that the weather will hold out and there won't be storms, but there are predicted to be storms this afternoon and this evening. If the weather's good, I'm just going to do my tour of Bryce Canyon this afternoon and then check into the motel, but if not, I'll just check into the motel for the afternoon and hide out there if it's going to storm and go to Bryce tomorrow morning. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I am entering some national forest, but I can't read the sign because there's a giant bump sign in front. Oh, Dixie National Forest. So here we go, Scenic Route 12. Wow, this is the first scenic overlook point on Highway 12. Beautiful. I'm driving through a pine and aspen forest. This forest is so beautiful. I love all the aspens. All my twinkle trees are back. So pretty. So I'm a little bit past the summit, which was 9,600 feet, and the views from here are amazing. There's this high alpine
meadow situation with, I saw a deer, there were cows and babies. Oh, I love it up here. So I'm at Steep Creek, and what I've been driving over is Boulder Mountain. It looks like it continues up even further up there. I'm here at another scenic overlook on Boulder Mountain, and it is just amazing. The contrast between the aspen trees and the alpine meadows and the cows, which are eating off in the distance, and then way down there, the super hot desert. It's a cool 69 degrees up here, and I'm really happy that I took Scenic Route 12. Just gorgeous. There's the moo cows, and they are talking loud today. Okay, I have officially entered the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. To the right side, this is what I'm driving next to. And then the road is on this tiny little neck, because then over on this side, there's kind of more of the same thing, so. This gnarly road I just drove up. The floor of this canyon is so lusciously green. So that's the road I've been driving on. Pretty cool, huh? Beautiful. But it's hot again. We're definitely back in the desert. So in the distance there are the Henry Mountains, which were the last mountain range to actually be mapped on US maps. And it is home to one of the few free roaming bison herds in the country, and it's so rugged, that's why it wasn't mapped until 1940s, I think. So I rolled into the Bryce Canyon area right around 4. A few things happened. 1, it looks like it's going to thunderstorm. 2, 4 o'clock was my check-in time for my motel. And 3, the busiest parts of Bryce are at the beginning in the amphitheater, and it is highly recommended, especially in summer, to take the shuttle if you're kind of during the busy time. So I made the executive decision to just come check into my motel. I'm staying at the Bryce Canyon Pines and have this lovely room. I don't need 2 beds, but I have 2 beds. There's, I think, a pool and a little hot tub over there, although if it's going to start thunderstorming, that probably won't be a good idea, so maybe that'll be later if the storms roll through. So my plan is to go to Bryce first thing in the morning, like at 6 or 7 a.m., depending on when I feel like getting up, and seeing if I can drive to the amphitheater stopping points. If it's too busy and there's no parking, I'll turn around and go back and catch the shuttle. And then to do the full 18-mile scenic drive there and back, and then leave Bryce. So that's the plan, to avoid the storms. I'm also tired, and the thought of dealing with a shuttle and everything just didn't sound very fun for the afternoon. They have a restaurant here that has really good food, and they're supposed to have really good pie, so I think I'll probably go there for dinner in another hour or 2. So yeah, I'm just gonna unwind for the afternoon, and yeah, check in later. I got a lemon raspberry pie, and I'm watching the Olympics. Perfect evening, if you ask me. Good morning, everyone. It's cold outside. I'm up, it's a little after 6 a.m., and I'm headed into the park. Hopefully I can beat the crowds and get some parking at the amphitheater spots, and then do the 18-mile scenic drive south and back. So let's go to Bryce Canyon National Park. It's a beautiful morning. Well, that was an amazing way to start my morning at Bryce Point. Now I am at Pariah View, and there is nobody else here, and there weren't that many people at Bryce Point either. So I think the getting up at 6 a.m. and leaving around sunrise was a good plan for this park. So my plan is to do all of the viewpoints in the amphitheater because those are the busiest, and then head down the scenic 18-mile drive. So here we go, Pariah View. Driving on the rest of the 18-mile scenic drive south through Bryce. So we're driving on kind of like a ridge on top of this plateau, so that you've got deep drop-offs on either side, not too close to the car. And driving through this burn zone, I just saw a couple of morning deer out. I think they were mule deer. Yeah, so far it's been a really pleasant morning, and I've hardly seen any other cars. Looks like I've got another viewpoint all to myself. This is Fairview Point. Oh, we're at 88. Let's go check out the view. The clouds are doing this pretty cool thing where they're creating this little pocket of light that's bursting through. So quiet here this morning. Maybe you can hear the wind. It's amazing here. I love the peace and the solitude. And the clean air. It's foggy down here in this part of the park. I'm at another stop. This is Natural Bridge. And once again, I am the only one here. Pretty cool. Let's take a peek. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Amazing. Look at, check this out. Wow. It's like one of the arches on arches. And my little twinkle tree aspens are right in front. Beautiful. up at almost 9,000 feet now. It's chilly up here. Low 50s. I hear the birds call this morning. On the bristlecone pine trail now. Some of these bristlecone pine trees are 1,800 years old. Imagine the lives and the natural disasters, all of the things that these trees have seen. Wow. This bristlecone pine trail will lead to, I think, a south-facing viewpoint called Yovimpa Point. So let's go see what kind of foggy views we can get this morning from there. Amazingly beautiful at this viewpoint. And again, I have it to myself. Wow, this has been a special treat of a morning of visiting Bryce Canyon.